Alright, so Jack, what are your views on politics?
Um, I would say the best way to. What do you need?
You have, does he have your permission to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just making
Well,
sure.
I wouldn't be sitting here talking to him if you didn't.
Okay, I'm just making sure. We have to make sure, okay? That's all.
All right. Anyway, what were you saying, man?
So, what are your views on politics?
I would say the best way to describe my own political opinion would be a left-winged libertarian, and that economically I agree with Bernie Sanders in that if you're working 40 hours a week, you shouldn't have to go to sleep at night worrying about, oh, how am I going to feed my kids in the morning, or how am I going to pay rent? If you're working in this country, I believe you should have, regardless of your position, you should have a quality life, not necessarily a luxurious life. Not saying McDonald's workers deserve to have like Lambos or Maseratis or anything like that. But you should be able to cover the basics of life without worrying about straining your bank account. So that way, I believe in a higher minimum wage, $15 an hour. If it's doable, I would like to see that happen. But I understand basic economics of like not every single business, particularly small businesses, can afford that. So that's something that basically I feel like the best solution to the biggest argument I hear from people who are against the $15 an hour minimum wage would be, well, their argument is, small businesses could not afford that. Well, I would argue, well, lower the taxes on smaller businesses and then have $15 minimum wage so it balances out. So on social issues, I consider myself a pretty staunch libertarian in that I'm for the legalization of recreational marijuana. Um, when it comes to guns, I'm pretty libertarian on that. I believe that you should be able to buy a handgun. Any private citizen should be able to buy handguns, shotguns, things like that. And I believe assault rifle should be an option, but you need to have like military experience or some way to show that you're not some crazy person about to go shoot up a school and all. Because basically, when it comes down to it, I believe the point of life is the experience of it, is the fulfillment of your desires, and I believe that in this country you should be able to basically it's like as long as you don't hurt me, as long as you don't hurt other people, do what you want with your life because it's your life to live. So I feel like in this country now it is very authoritarian that we want to kind of put everyone inside a box. They can want to funnel everyone into a very similar mindset, and that to me is like it's very dangerous because you're kind of going on the idea of fascism there. You're kind of straddling fascism. So basically, I believe heavily in personal liberties. A government that governs the least governs the best, and economically, I believe that if you're working 40 plus hours a week, you should not have to worry about covering your basic needs. And that's probably the best way I can put it.
Alright. So, in today's bullshit.
Today's bullshit, yeah.
Yeah. What are your views on like the current like the two most popular candidates for this presidency?
Are you referring to Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump?
Yes.
Um, when it comes to Hillary Clinton, I despise her as a candidate for the sole reason that she is her front is that of one of the people. She's like, oh, I'm going to try to work for the people, while her track record says something very different. Taking large quantities of monies from corporations to fulfill their desires, which are against the people, to be just another corporate, center right wing politician that really is not going to get shit done. She's just there for the billionaire class. She's there for big money, and I don't think, and she's not fit for president whatsoever. She is a, she's a, how do I put this correctly? She is a liar, and she is And she is just another part of what the bigger issue is in Washington. In our government now, we have snakes in there. We don't have honest people. We don't have people who actually are good-hearted, who represent the common citizen. We have people in there now who only care about big money and their own selfish interests. And that's not the way society should be. Now, when it comes to Donald Trump, he's kind of the opposite. He's on the different side of the same coin as Bernie Sanders. He's the opposite reaction to the same problem of established politicians in politics. He is an opposite and worse. People, particularly, I guess, redneck, or I guess more, how do you put it? Not even redneck. I hate to put it like that, but yeah, more redneck or southern people. They see him as the guy who hold their ideals, and he does. But we're having an interview. Yeah, you're fine. So Donald Trump, I give him credit for having the balls to say the things he does and for being outside the political establishment, but I feel like it's a step in the wrong direction.
Alright. Alright, let's say you are running for president. What would you do?
What would I do? Well, first and foremost, I would probably look at if I was in president right now, I would cut military spending on like basically how do I put this? I'll cut it for combat equipment. I'll cut it for we stop spending like billions of dollars on the unnecessary amount of weapons, the unnecessary amount of combat equipment, basically, and use some of that money to put more money into the benefits for veterans, because I do have respect for veterans. If you're going over there and giving up your freedoms to fight the potential evils of our world, you shouldn't have to worry about being hungry, because you're giving up. Conservatives always say that shit. It's like, oh, we're the party, or we're the people who have the most respect for the soldiers. Then why are you cutting their benefits? Then why are you cutting their meal money? Why are you cutting money for them to eat? So I would take some of that money and increase the spending on the benefits of the veterans, and use the rest to fund education. Something I feel like needs to be funded greatly, because education now, the way I feel about education now is that basically it's not really trying to grow a student's individuality or growing their own talents. It's more about forcing them into this box that's best suited for productivity. And it leaves a lot of students behind, a lot of really bright, talented young people who are cast aside by the system because they don't fit into this perfect little image. And education now is unfortunately more of an obedience school than it is a place of learning. And I would overhaul it to where we have where it grows, where education tries to grow a student's individuality. We put a lot more funding into it because we are vastly underfunded in education.
Cool. Alright. In today's time, what would you change?
If I could change one thing, this is probably my inner stoner coming out here, but I would stop sending kids to prison for smoking pot.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that, now, thankfully things are starting to change where, well, if they catch you with pot, they're not going to put you in jail, but it's going to charge you a misdemeanor or something. They're becoming a lot more light on it. That's good. But still, no one should be, spending, there are still people who got like a mass quantity of like a couple pounds. You can be spending like, 10, 15 years in prison over that. And that's ridiculous. No one should be in prison for a plant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and technically, weed is not a drug; it's a plant.
I mean, it's a drug in the fact that it's a psychedelic. It's a psychedelic in the same way LSD, psilocybin mushrooms, DMT are, in that it works. It affects your mind in a similar way, and you can go overboard it, just like you can go overboard anything. but no one has ever overdosed from marijuana. No one, no, unless you're like baked out of your mind driving your car, you're pretty. There's no real dangers of marijuana. So I really don't understand how you send people to prison or get in any sort of trouble over it. To me, it's a statement of American lifestyle. To me, it's a wonderful thing. I wish more people would do it because I think the world would be happier, honestly. Because
Mhm.
people today, they just get and life is stressful. Life is hard, you know, and marijuana and responsibly, it's a wonderful thing. It can help alleviate the stresses of life, and it can really help raise your consciousness.
Mhm. And to me, if it grows, it's not considered a drug. But if it's like man-made, to me, that's a drug.
See, the only thing about that is that cocaine it comes from a plant and heroin comes from opiate plants.
Mhm.
So I really get kind of irked when people are like, oh, it's a plant, therefore it's not bad. Well, just because something's a plant doesn't mean it's not harmful.
Yeah.
Marijuana is a plant that's not harmful, but just because something is a plant doesn't automatically mean it's good for you.
Mhm. Yeah. So before we wrap up, do you have any quotes you would like to say?
Um, the only thing I can really probably the best way I can view life is the point of life. Life, some people like, I think some people make life a little bit more complicated than what it should be. I feel like life is, but people kind of get wrapped up on the questions of, oh, is there an afterlife? Is there a God? Kind of like the big questions that don't really have answers. My philosophy on that is live for today. There's an afterlife. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. There's something after, great. If not, oh well, it's fun while it lasted. Enjoy your life and make the most of it as it is now. Because as far as we know, as long as there's any evidence for it, we only live once. There's only one existence. There's only one reality which we can live in. There's no evidence for an afterlife. There's no evidence for a being. If there is one, cool, whatever. But there's no point in living your life in fear of death. You should be indifferent on death. Because the fear of death keeps you from living life.
Mhm. Well, that's the wrap of politics of the day. Thanks, Jack, for being on here.
Hey, no worries, man.
Mhm. If you ever want to talk about more of this, we can always do it.
Oh yeah, man. I like